Microeconomics students, hi. Instructor Robertson here, reporting from St. Ben's, our East Campus. And today you will have I'm giving you an instructional video for the final exam. You have two other things that will be due this final week, due 6/5, Monday 6/5. You have your final project, which is, if you were looking under project, it is 2 to 3 pages writing about a company of your choosing using microeconomic terms, whether you're talking about the type of industry in which it operates, marketplace-wise, or you're talking about elasticity, or talking about how the firm works when it comes to pricing and the marketplace for your company. You also need a slide, roughly 3 to 5 slides, summarizing and you're not going to present those, you're just going to email those to me. So the paper and the slides emailed to me, and then now I'm going to go through the final exam for you. So if you go into Blackboard and you go down to week 8, and you click on week 8, it should unfold beneath week 8. Now, there are 9 sections to this final exam. So I'm going to go through each section. If you have questions, right, and you're going to return it to me via email, and I have that on the exam. If you have questions, you can either email me or text me, and I have that written on the exam as well. It is a writable Word document, and so when you're writing on it, when I go through the sections, I'll explain each section how you should answer the questions and how you should write on them. Okay, so section 1, there are 27 multiple choice. They are 1 point each. So the best thing here is to go through and you can either underline, italicize, or highlight using a color the answer of your choosing. One answer for each question, and there are 27 of those in section 1. Section 2, 8 points total. In this section, you are to draw a PPF. So remember, you're going to draw an X and Y axis, actually for you guys, X and Y axis, and you are going to label, in this scenario, you're going to label MP3 players. You can, for example, put MP3 players along the bottom, right? And you can label it from 0 to 400. And you can put music downloads along the Y-axis, and it starts at 0 and goes to 70,000, right? And so 0 being where the X and Y axis come together. So if you put your MP3 players on the bottom and your music downloads going up the Y axis starting at 0, both start at 0. And then you are going to plot, for example, the first one, MP3 players at 0, music downloads at 70,000. So your first plot, remember the PPF, will be at, your X will be 0, and so it won't be over at all, and it will be all the way up at 70,000, right? So on the music downloads on the Y-axis. And then the next one will be, you'll move over 100 on the X-axis, and you will move up to 60,000 music. So you will plot all 5 points, A, B, C, D, E, and label them. And so let's see. So for these, you can submit a separate sheet of paper if you would like. If you want to draw and take a picture, so for section 2, if you want to submit your PPF separately, or if you draw a PPF and you insert it as a picture onto the exam, you can do either. If, for example, section 2, you want your PPF to, you physically draw it, you can snap a picture of it, or email me a picture of section 2. If you print the entire exam out, that is fine as well. And if you want to either scan it back in, or if you would like to, or if you have a drawing tool and you can draw your PPF within the exam, you can do that as well. So if you run into any issues in the section 2, let me know, right, how you can submit your PPF. Then you're going to answer a couple questions relating to trade-offs. That is section 2. Section 3, another graph. So given the table below, graph using the x-axis and y-axis. Remember price and quantity. You want to make sure quantity is along the bottom, and then the y-axis is where you are graphing the price. So you're going, and these should look familiar, right? So then I give you the flashlight market. So you will use these numbers at each price. So at a price of you can make a demand curve, right? A sloping downward curve, demand curve. So that is the quantity demanded, right? That use those 5 numbers to build your demand curve. So you use the quantity demanded and price to build your demand curve. And you will use then on the second to do the supply curve, which slopes upward, you will use the quantity supplied and the price. So I only need to give you the price once. That's why there's only 3 columns in your flashlight market. So again, if you're able to either print it out and draw it for section 3, please go ahead and do that. Otherwise, if you want to have it on a separate piece of paper, that is fine too. For sections 2 and 3, there is a graph. So it is a little bit trickier. If you are having issues with either of those, please reach out to me as soon as possible so that I know and we can make a plan for the graphing. Section 4, again, is writable. So you are able to, actually, if you take a picture of a drawing, you can insert it to your exam if you'd like, or you can send it to me separately for the 2 different drawings. Section 4 is matching, 1 point each, as is section 5, 1 point each matching. Now we get back to multiple choice in section 6, 19 points, answer the best one given. So you're going to choose the best answer. And there are 19 of those. In section 7, you are going to look at the graph, and it's a market for tires, and you are going to use this to determine the tax revenue collected from that graph. So go ahead and hopefully from your homework you have understood this one, and you're able to do that. You don't actually have to draw on the graph. So there are only 2 sections, 2 and 3, that you actually have to draw graphs and might have to use a separate sheet of paper. Now, in section 8, there are 9 points total, 2 points for what does it mean to say good is excludable, why is it difficult for private industry to provide public goods, 2 points for each of those, and then 5 points for fill in the characteristics. Number of firms, are there few or many, and are the products identical or similar, or are they different, differentiated? So fill in the blanks there, and then the last one, section 9, is 5 points. It is a question. Please answer in 2 or 3 sentences. What is the likely outcome and why? In accordance with Nash equilibrium in the prisoner's dilemma. So if we have a prisoner's dilemma situation, what is the likely outcome according to what we learned about Nash equilibrium? So if you have questions in these 9 sections, and if you follow the points, they do add up to 100, please reach out to me. I am available on campus if you would like an actual physical test. I can have a few of those available, and I will give those to Mary in the, she can print them out for you in the library if you are popping in to do that. Again, the exam is due by Monday, the end of the day. So if you are requesting a paper exam, Mary's able to do that for you, or I can leave some with her for you to take, and then you'll have to turn it in by Monday, the end of the day. Questions for me, please reach out. If you have any lingering homework as well, please get that to me so you can get some points for that homework. If you have questions for me, you can reach out via text, you can reach out via email. And we are almost done with our 8-week course, our inaugural run of this course. We'll see. It was a little tricky, but I think we all got through it. And yeah, I look forward to the closing out of the course on Monday. So have a wonderful weekend, and just let me know if you either A, need a paper test, if you have questions about the exam, or questions about submissions.